Again, and today talking about and reviewing the 2019 film Reboot, Child's Play. Now, to start off, is this better than the original? No. Is this better than Child's Play 2 and 3? No, because to me the first three are the best, with my favorite being Part 2. The later Chucky films, like Bride of Chucky, back in the day I could watch the film and I thought it was okay. But in later years, I've cared less and less for the film. And, to be honest, even at this point, I don't really care for the film that much. I do have it, but that's as far as I'm going to go. Because, after that, it just got worse. Seed of Chucky is god-awful. Curse of Chucky, I thought it tried too hard. I thought it was pretentious. I didn't care for the cast. I didn't care for the characters. Especially the one scene where they're just sitting around the dinner table and they're all eating chili, and it's like, eat the freaking chili already. Why is the scene, lingering on? If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. It's just the whole scene with the bowl of chili. I'm just like, eat the fucking chili already. And then Code of Chucky, I thought was awful. Just a shitty follow-up to Curse. And I know there's some people out there that like, in regards to the last couple of Chucky films, some people like those, and that's fine, but, I've, in regards to later Chucky films, I just don't care. I've seen them, I don't own them, but, yeah, the last four, to be honest, even since Bride, I really haven't cared for Chucky, and it just, like I said, to me, it's gotten worse. And, with this movie, Child's Play, see if I can get away from that. I know it's bright out, but just, his first thoughts on the film, I liked it. I thought it was a solid reboot. And if I know, if there's some people out there that don't like the film, that's fine. And I'm usually one that, rants about the reboots and the remakes. Once in a while, we'll get a good one. Once in a while, we'll get a gem. Once in a while, there's a good one in the rough. And I thought this was a good one. This was a solid movie. Is it perfect? No. But, some of the ideas, that were presented in this film, I thought were interesting. And I'll get more into that. But the plot to the film, basically you have this company, I think it's Castellan Industries. And the spokesperson is Tim Matheson. Is it Tim Matheson? Yeah. And they have this new line of artificial intelligence dolls, the buddies. And also, too, with that, they're connected to different Castellan products. Even, the doll, because he's AI, he's, you can also operate the doll via your mobile device, and you can operate other, appliances, vehicles with the, with phone and how everything is connected nowadays. So I like that, concept. And you have the character of Andy. Well, pretty much, I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit. But in Vietnam, you have the toy factory where they're building these buddies. And this one worker, he's not doing his job, and he's about to get fired. And before he does that, he reprograms this one buddy doll before committing suicide. Thus, making Chucky who he is, making Buddy, turn his eyes red and all that stuff. And you have, again, going back to the character of Andy, who is played by, I guess, Gabrielle Bateman. And his mom is played by Aubrey Plaza. And the mother works at this sort of retail store where they sell, these buddies and even buddy bears, which is interesting. And it's Andy's birthday, and she brings home, a doll, buddy doll for Andy, and even Andy's like, I don't need a doll. because he's a teenager. Teenagers don't need dolls. So, but, as the film goes on, they sort of build a friendship, him and Chucky, which I thought was cool. I thought was interesting that, they sort of build on the rapport throughout the film, and so I like that they focus on that aspect as well. You have this neighbor who is also a cop, who is played by, I guess, Brian Tyree Henry. Yeah, Brian Tyree Henry. I want to make sure I get that right. I had it pulled up here a minute ago, but come on, where is it? Yeah, Mike. Yeah, he plays the character Mike, who's a cop. I thought he was good in the film. And, at some point in the film, you see the transition of the doll where it starts to... Even at one point, they're watching this movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, on TV, and, I thought it was pretty cool. But, at some point in the film, Chucky starts to change, and... you see the transition to becoming an evil doll, with his eyes turning red. Put my phone right here. With his eyes turning red, and Andy is like, what are you doing? And like certain scenes where he kills the cat, the family cat, and you also have this boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend, who is a dick in the film. Andy doesn't like him, and so Buddy picks up on that, and has certain scenes where he records the conversations, and records Andy calling the boyfriend an asshole. So you got that going on, and then at times you have Andy's friends. They try to have a little fun with the doll. Because the doll's AI and such, and again, like I mentioned before, the dolls, you can operate the doll via the cell phone, because there's an app, the Buddy app, so it can do different things and features, as well as, again, operate other appliances that are made by the Caslin Industries. And they really do a good job as far as utilizing that aspect. But again, I'll talk more about that. Getting back to the plot. But, as you would imagine, Chucky starts to, kill people. I mean, he kills his boyfriend in a gruesome way, and so on and so forth. And pretty much, Andy, it's up to Andy to stop Chucky, and, I don't want to give too much away, and I know I didn't really do a great job of describing the plot, but, again, I thought this was a solid reboot. The cast, I mean, I thought the kid, Andy, I thought he was fine in the film, and, I thought, he was a, good kid actor. You have Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky, which, I thought he did a good job. I still prefer Brad Dourif, but I thought Mark Hamill did a good job with the voice acting. Even the Buddy song was a little catchy. And yeah, I mean, as far as the look of Chucky, I still have little issues with that. I think that even... I get you're trying to be different, but maybe they could have worked on the face a little bit better as far as, like, expressions. Like, okay, I get it. You're going with this AI route, but, maybe they could have worked on that a little bit more. But even there's some points where the expressions, like there's this one scene where Andy puts Buddy in timeout, and he has sort of a sad face, which I thought was cool. I just think that they could have worked on the face a little bit more. Um, but for the most part, I didn't mind, um, the use of, Chucky, because for the most part, and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, it is a practical animatronic. So, and I'm sure maybe some points were CGI, but so I give him props for that. But again, Mark Hamill I thought did a solid job. Brad Dourif is still my favorite and is still the best, but Mark Hamill does fine. The mother in the film, Aubrey Plaza, she's not the strong part of the film. She's just there. That's pretty much all I can say about her. Her character is just sort of there. The cop, again, I like the cop character. I thought he did a fine job. Brian Tyree Henry, I thought he was fine in the film. Some of Andy's friends in the film, they're fine, but, you know, again, not the strongest part of the film. They're fine for what they had to do. Um, let's see. The score I thought was fine. The pacing, I think it's like an hour and a half. And I thought that was fine as well. I mean, it moved along pretty good where I didn't lose interest. It wasn't, sluggish or anything. And, some of the ideas, and I've mentioned some of the ideas with the film, they really touch on the AI aspect and how that, some of these things that it can be plausible, as far as like the app that can operate the doll, but also is connected to other things. And, like there's this one scene where the cop's mom, Mike's mom, is in this self-driving car, and, that's operated by the app, and so on and so forth, and she gets killed. I mean, so a little spoiler there, but it's just certain things that they touch on where it makes the idea fun, unlike Chucky being AI, instead of being like possessed. I still like that idea from the original and such, but again, it seems in a weird way, it seems sort of plausible now because, with all the AI and stuff and the advancements in technology and how nowadays you can do anything with an app, and nowadays you can do anything with a cell phone. And so they really do some things in regards to that aspect that I liked. So I'll give the film that. The direction is fine. Lars Klevberg, I don't know what else he's directed, but I thought he did fine job directing. I haven't seen any of the features on the back or watched any of the features. Like, it has audio commentary by director, making of, bringing Child's Play, Chucky to life. So I still have to watch some of those features. I was trying to think what else I could mention. Some of the kills I thought were fine. I think, to me, my favorite one was where he kills the maintenance guy, because the maintenance guy in the building, sort of a creep. Well, he is a creep pretty much, because he has cameras set up in all these different apartments. I like the way he gets fucked up. The boyfriend, his comeuppance, was fun. Fun for what it was. The one scene that was kind of awkward is, I mean, I like the idea, but, and spoiler alert, so, spoiler, where Chucky pretty much takes his face off, and this is after he kills the boyfriend, skins off his face, pins it to a watermelon, and then sends it to Andy. And then after that, following that, Andy wraps it up like a present and tries to give it to Mike's mom. Again, the cop's mom, who's a neighbor. as a gift, and it's, there's some kind of awkwardness there in regards to that scene, and getting that back, because he has to get rid of it. Andy, he wants to get rid of that thing, get rid of the evidence, whatever. But I thought that was a little awkward, that scene, but you know, he had a good comeuppance, and practical blood with that scene, the boyfriend being killed, practical blood. So you get some practical blood and some gore in here, which is nice. The body count, I mean, you maybe have a few people get killed, and maybe there could have been one or two more added to that body count, but I thought it was fine for what it did. Again, the score was okay. The final act and the store I thought was fun, where at some point Chucky is able to bring all these other dolls to life, even the Buddy Bear. Like you throw some drones into that climax where they attack some of the customers, and by the end Andy fights back, and Chucky gets it in the heart, and then his head gets ripped off by the mother, and the film ends. And again, like I said, I mean, it's kind of bright, I know, but yeah, Child's Play, the reboot, to me is a solid reboot. I thought it was a good movie. Again, not perfect. I still prefer the first three films over this one. I can say safely and easily that I like this more than Bride of Chucky. I know that might stir the pot a little bit, but because some people still like Bride of Chucky, and that's fine. But in the last four Chucky movies, to me, I prefer this over those. Again, I definitely prefer the first three. So saying that again, the first three are the best. I still prefer the first three, but in this era of reboots, remakes that are just constant, and 9 times out of 10 suck. This one didn't. So yeah, I like Child's Play reboot. I like the cast. Again, weak points. The mother, I thought she was just there. I don't know if I really cared for her character that much. Some of Andy's friends, I mean, I can also say that's sort of a weak point in the film. I get what they were trying to do, have some fun with the doll, and utilize the AI and stuff like that. But so maybe that, but I mean, I like the character of Andy. I thought he was a good kid actor. Mark Hamill did a fine job as Chucky. The pacing was fine. The buddy theme was catchy. Some of the kills were fun. Some good gore. Good, blood effects. And, again, nice direction from the director. I don't know what else he's directed, but so, yeah, I mean, and again, lately I've been tired of this kind of, like reboots and remakes and stuff, but this one, Child's Play reboot from 2019, I thought it was a solid one, so I recommend it. And like, if people have seen the film and they don't like the film, that's fine. But I had, a good time with this one, so that's my review of Child's Play reboot. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.